When I was in college, my best mate John and I did everything together. Classes, terrible cooking, and a ridiculous amount of dumb stunts. We weren't idiots in any academic sense, but give us a bad idea and we'd sprint headfirst into it. Abandoned houses, climbing water towers, sneaking into places we had no business being, that kind of stupid. One night we decided to dial it down a notch and walk into the woods behind town. Less risk, we said. Famous last words. The woods that ringed the town were ordinary enough. Trees, underbrush, quiet, except for the section at the back. That side had been mostly emptied after an old fire years ago. Whole blocks left to rot. The forest there had no paths, no footprints, just trees reclaiming what people had abandoned. It took us about 40 minutes from campus to reach the burnt sections. Then another 10 to the dark, where the town lights finally disappeared. We turned our flashlights on and stepped in. For the first 20 minutes, it was exactly what we expected. A little unnerving, then boring. The moon filtered through the branches. Our beams bobbed from trunk to trunk, and we made stupid jokes to keep the mood light. Then John stopped. "Look," he whispered. A thin line of light cut across the forest floor up ahead. Not a campfire, too steady, but a flashlight beam, low and flat, like someone had dropped it and left it casting around. We crept closer. No tent, no sleeping bag, no footprints, just the flashlight, sitting on the dirt like a beacon in a place nobody should be. A normal person would have picked it up and left. John and I were not normal. We talked it over. Someone must have dropped it running. We said, someone running from what? We looked at each other and grinned, because adrenaline was the point of the whole thing. We left it where it was and pressed on, deeper into the trees, letting our own lights skim over roots and old ash. Maybe 2 minutes after we left the flashlight, something cracked behind us. Not one loud snap, but a quick succession. 3 or 4 twigs breaking 20, 30 feet away, right where we'd just been. We spun around, lights jagging, but there was nothing. The woods were suddenly too quiet. We shrugged it off and kept walking, but the noise came again, closer this time. The soft, rapid rustle of feet on leaf litter, like someone moving fast but staying low. After that second time, the jokes stopped. The air felt wrong, not the breathless excitement we'd come for, but something tight and sharp. We started hearing it in fits, a snap, a shuffle, a muffled break. 5, 6 times, always just behind John, never close enough to see, always close enough to make us look over our shoulders. Then, finally, a shadow moved. It slipped from behind a tree and melted into the darkness. Nothing solid at first. We froze, the kind of freeze where the brain refuses to act. 10 seconds later, a pale shape, a head, a face, turned in our direction, peered around the trunk. I saw the angle of it more than features, the slow, deliberate motion of someone checking if a danger had passed. We ran, not the stumbling jog you do when you're embarrassed, but full, stupid sprinting through roots and half-rotten boards of fallen trees, flashlights bobbing wildly and catching on low branches. For 5 minutes, we ran until our lungs burned, until the clench in our chests loosened and we could finally slow to a crooked walk. Only then did we notice something small and strange. The beam of the abandoned flashlight was gone. Whoever had been there had taken it, turned it off, disappeared. Back on campus, The adrenaline faded and left a brittle, nagging question in its place. Who had been following us out there? It didn't make sense. That area of the woods was the kind of place people avoided. A few days later, the town paper ran a short, tight notice. Someone missing, last seen heading toward the back of town. No details, no body. Just a name and the image of a person who had walked into a place where people don't go and never came back. We never linked our flashlight find to that missing person with any certainty. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe someone else had dropped a light and walked away. But the memory that sits with me, the one that turns my stomach when it appears, is simple and stubborn. A light, abandoned on the ground in the middle of an empty black forest, and a head that peered around a tree like it was checking whether the woods were safe again. We were lucky we got away, and every time I pass the edge of town now, I think about what else could be out there, moving between the trunks, waiting for someone stupid enough to leave a light on the ground.